I'm David Booher.
And I'm Dawson Brown.
We have Japanese Barberry, Barberry Stembergii.
So these are videos. The very first one is mine, and there was a minor mistake on it. So I did a shorter secondary video, and then the third video is David's here. So let's get started with the first one. Let's see. It's not working. Here we go.
Hello again, my name is Dawson Brown, and for my assigned species, I got Japanese Barberry. So, some of the ways you can tell Japanese Barberry from common Barberry are its thorns. If you see closer, you see that each thorn is quite small and it is smooth. Common Barberry wouldn't have this, and it would have at more nodes. Like all Barberry species, it has yellow flowers and it has red berries. It also has yellow inner bark. If you were to cut into Japanese Barberry and if you were to cut into common Barberry, you get the same result. They also have been known to hybridize in the wild, which can make identification somewhat difficult. If you come down here, you can see that there are other small colony patches of Japanese Barberry. Japanese Barberry spreads primarily through the root system, but also from its berries, which birds quite like. Like all known species of barberry, it makes excellent habitat for deer ticks.
So the basis I have is Japanese Barberry. This, I think, may be common Barberry. Not really common Japanese, although they are very similar. They have a simple leaf with the entire margin. That mustard yellow right there is the interior of its bark. They'll have little berries like that on them. Wildlife like them. That's what helps it spread. The Japanese cannot be sold in the U.S. anymore. It used to be able to be sold as an ornamental type thing, but that has now been prohibited to stop the spread. This can grow on a good site, and where we're at now is a lot of beech and poplar and some cherry after the poplar there. There's a sycamore right there. One of its other big characteristics or key characteristics is these little thorns that are on them. Can get you pretty good. You got to be real careful when getting close to them. See if I get them in focus here. Right there. So just gotta watch out for them. So that's about it.
So not completely sure on it being banned in the U.S., but it definitely has been prohibited for sale in the state of West Virginia.
As of July 2020. This is the video that I messed up on. We're going to go watch it anyway because it's longer and it has more information than my previous video.
Hello, my name is Dawson Brown, and this is the invasive species that I got for our coral project. This is a Japanese barberry. It is Barberry Stembergii. It looks very similar to the common barberry, which is Barberry vulgaris, and is really only differentiated the leaves and by the thorns. If you look closer at the thorns right here, you will see there is one thorn per each node. And at the base of each node is where the leaves would usually be. Right here, where I'm at in Nicholas County at this time, Barberry Stembergii, or Japanese barberry, has already lost its leaves. You may still be able to find some leaves, like this one right here. I don't know if you can see this, but the leaves have smooth margins and are quite small, similar to common, except less in size, smaller in size. Like most barberries, Japanese barberries, fruits. I don't know if you can see this. Red fruits. Sorry, pardon me. Red fruits. Japanese barberry spreads through ribosomes and quickly forms small colonies. These are root spreaders and generally grow in clumps. As of 2020, Japanese barberry is considered a noxious weed by the state of West Virginia, and so you are unable to buy it, nor are you able to sell it. The reason for this is because it changes the soil chemistry of the soil that is surrounding it, making it more basic and killing some of the weeds near it. I say some, not all. Some weeds like these here are still able to survive, at least for now. And like most barberries, Japanese barberry makes the habitat more suitable for deer ticks and other sort of ticks like Lone Star ticks. So generally, when you're in a barberry thicket, you'll need to have more protection on you because it makes a better habitat for ticks and parasites and that drink your blood, and it's kind of it's a very bad species to have. Alright, we're done with that mouse. Get back to our PowerPoint here.
Okay, so Japanese barberry, woody shrub, grow up to 6 feet in height, tolerant of both sunlight and shade, and that's what allows it to grow so efficiently. Forms in dense stands, close canopy forests, open woodlands, pretty much anywhere. It doesn't matter. It grows everywhere, just like most invasives do. It says species flowers will be yellow in spring. Throughout the summer, grows those red berries. Then they'll hang on to them into the early, like mid-fall, and then drop off. Just the leaves are just the same as the leaves. The cluster at each node on the branches of the plant has smooth, simple margin leaves. One thing that separates this from the common barberries, I read up on, is the common barberry will have like clusters of thorns. Like they can grow in like 2s or 3s. These ones will produce a more simple singular type thorn, or purple, whatever the heck you want to call it. Alright, next slide.
Species habitat and distribution. Like its name suggests, it's native to the islands of Japan, as you can see here in red, but throughout the 1800s, it became naturalized in what is Korea, both north and south, and then eastern China and southwestern Russia, kind of up there where Russia and North Korea meet. And of course, later in the 1800s, it came to America via Russia distributioner in, I believe it was Boston, Massachusetts. And so therefore it spread all the way over into the United States. It's kind of a pain to deal with. As you see here in green, this is all states where it is invasive or currently invasive, and states that are not highlighted where it's not invasive yet, or at least has not been reported. Like David said, they grow pretty much anywhere and everywhere that there is soil, making it very hard to deal with, plus the thorns.
So as he was saying, it came from Russia to Boston, and then ended up in the Arnold Arboretum, 1896. Then planted into the New York Botanic Garden, and then people found it as a good replacement for common barberry. I think it was common barberry would cause black stem rot or something like that, and wheat. So
yeah, wheat rust.
Yeah, wheat rust. So major problem there, but little did they know at the time, by using that, it was going to cause a much bigger problem and spread this thing pretty much all over the northeast U.S.
So ecological impact in areas where it's well established, these invasive species pretty much become a monoculture. Like I said previously in my videos, they make the soil more basic or more alkali, so they increase the pH, which kills pretty much everything else. Japanese barberry itself can thrive in high pH soils as well as low pH soils, making it a better habitat for itself. An area where it's not established, it will spread via root suckers, so it spreads both sexually and vegetatively. And this allows it to form a well-established colony where it can then spread seeds elsewhere and establish more colonies. Birds prey on its seeds, not prey on seeds, but eat its seeds, and they spread the berries far and wide. To my knowledge, this is really the only species that uses this particular plant for food. Deer can't really eat it due to its dense growth, little nutrition, and its thorns that it has. Mice live in it occasionally, and it makes a great habitat for ticks. But other than that, there's really no positive benefit to it being here. And of course, it outcompetes other species such as common barberry, our native clovers, our grasses, and little trees like sycamores and other pioneers. It started on disturbed sites, which it also colonizes disturbed sites pretty well. And yeah, leading to an increase in tick population in areas that is infested with Japanese barberry. This can lead to an increased likelihood of contracting Lyme disease and other tick-borne diseases. So you generally want to get rid of this as soon as you see it, and if you don't, you're going to end up having a whole bunch of clusters of them, which is going to make everything a lot worse, both for you and all the animals that live in that area.
So as we've mentioned before, 2020, we got banned. It was considered a noxious weed in the state. The cost to remove the locations have been affected because this species reproduces, like he was saying, both sexually and asexually. There's a lot of cost into controlling it with the herbicides. You can do with controlled burn or different things like that. Herbicide gets pretty expensive. You can do with the stump cut method or foliar spray, but either way, you're throwing a lot of dollars into it. Of course, the habitat for ticks, human health impact, walking through it, it'll hurt you that way too. So it's just causing all kinds of problems.
So control and eradication measures. As you see this guy here, he has a propane torch, and this this picture is a little bit grainy, but what you can see here, he is killing a Japanese barberry with a little propane flower tank. So there's no biological control methods, at least in the United States. In Japan, where it's native, there are some species of fungus and rust that can reduce its fertility and reduce the amount of seeds it can bear, but those have not been brought to the United States, and there are no biological control methods for this particular species. For mechanical control measures, you can dig it up, you can cut it, you can do, like you said, you can do the stump cut method, but you do also have to wash it. You have to eliminate the entire thing, because if you leave just one viable root, it will grow back and it will colonize again. So when you're eradicating the species, you have to eradicate all of it at the same time. Don't leave any part of it left. For chemical control methods, you can use stump cut method. You can also spray with different chemicals like glyphosate, and usually you want to do that when it's actively growing so it can get into its system and kill it much quicker. But then you have to watch for other things like, it's spreading while it's doing that, and you need to take off all of its roots as well, and any little berries that you see, because berries will then germinate and sprout and get more Japanese barberry in the location. So eliminating the berries as the roots should be the priority there. And like we mentioned like a dozen times by now, as of July 2020, this species is legal to buy and sell in the state of West Virginia. Is considered a noxious weed.
Well, I think it's mostly commercial. I don't know, what's up at all, but that's what they're.
Well, in law, you can't buy it or sell it. I mean, you could do that, but you would get into legal trouble.
And then concept map, so that's just everything we've talked about, just kind of full circle, how they interact with each other.
So here are all of our references that we use. We use these in our research paper as well. So if you want to find more information, you can just click these links here. And that is it for our PowerPoint.